Okay, we are streaming live via YouTube. Again, my name is Judge Tamika West Bernard. I will be presiding over the first appearance hearing for today, January the 11th, 2023. If each individual will please raise their right hand so I can swear them in. Do you swear or affirm that the information included on your application for court-appointed counsel, as well as any information you give to the court today, will be true and accurate to the best of your knowledge? You can say verbal yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then for the record, we are Clayton County Jail is appearing via Zoom today, and there's one pod. So I will make some opening remarks. I will then proceed forward with the first appearance for the female inmates and then the male inmates. So first, okay, thank you. First, this is your first appearance before Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We are not here to try your case or to take a plea. You are here for the court to inform you of the charges against you, advise you of certain rights, set bail on those offenses for which this court is authorized to set bail, schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing, but should you choose to give up this right, anything you say during these proceedings may be used against you if your case goes to trial. During this and all other court proceedings, you have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to indictment by the grand jury for most felonies or accusation for misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine all witnesses who are called to testify against you. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses in your own behalf by subpoena. You also have the right to testify and offer other evidence in your own defense should you choose to do so. But should you choose not to do so, no presumption of your guilt may be raised. You have a right to have an attorney represent you during these proceedings and all other court proceedings. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail pending prosecution of your case, which may be by cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond in cash, together with any applicable mandated fees to the sheriff's office, who will hold it until your final court date, at which time the cash bond will be returned to the person who posted it. If you use a commercial bonding company approved by the sheriff, someone will have to pay the company up to 15% of the total bond as their fee for their service. This fee will not be returned. Someone may post a bond using their property if they have net equity in the property in an amount equal to 3 times the total amount of the bond. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to or around certain places. This is a special condition that will be provided on your bond order. You will also be prohibited from calling or having contact with the alleged victim while you're in jail and while you're out on bond. Should you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you will not be entitled to another bond while awaiting trial. An additional charge of aggravated stalking, influencing witnesses, or other charges as the law may provide could be brought against you, for which you could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison and fined up to $20,000. For family members who will assist you in posting bond, they will be provided with information of your bond amount after I have concluded the first appearance calendar for today. If a family member is an alleged victim on the warrant and there is a special condition that you're to have no contact with that family member, he or she will not be allowed to post bond on your behalf. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is simply not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a superior court judge, and you will be informed of that date during your first appearance hearing today. If you're currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond. Your bond can be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to determine if they wish to file a warrant for violation of your probation, usually during the preliminary hearing. The purpose of preliminary hearing is to determine if there is enough evidence or probable cause to justify keeping you detained in jail until such time as your case goes to trial. For those of you charged with misdemeanors only, you will have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Waiving your preliminary hearing will not affect your right to post bond, your right to have an attorney represent you if you qualify for one, or your right for a jury trial. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived, and you will be mailed a notice of when to appear in state court for arraignment. If you cannot post bond, you may waive your preliminary hearing and be taken before a state court judge, at which time, if you plead guilty, you will be sentenced. If you plead not guilty, a trial will be scheduled on your behalf. If you choose to have a misdemeanor preliminary hearing, your hearing will be scheduled for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. For those of you charged with felony offenses, you will not have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Your preliminary hearing will be scheduled for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. That concludes my opening remarks. Deputies, at this time, I will proceed forward with the first appearing hearing for each of the individuals. You can present them one by one, and please have them state their full name for the record.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We have an attorney on here, Tiffany Simons.
Okay, was there a notice of appearance?
No.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I do have to file my appearance, Your Honor. We just aware that court was going to be at 11, so we had some confusion.
Okay, who are you representing?
Paige Brown, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, no problem. I believe is this her? Can you state your full name for me?
Maya Brown.
Is this your client, Attorney Simmons?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay,
Yes,
I'm sorry.
Before you get started, so Attorney Simmons, who is Brian Brown trying to get in?
Brian Brown is her father.
He has to watch through YouTube.
Yes, Ms. Attorney Simmons, any family members can watch the proceedings via YouTube on the court's website.
Okay.
Okay, who gave you this link?
The office. I had to call the office. I've been at the courthouse for the last 2 hours getting various information. I finally called the magistrate court office, and I was giving the login link for today.
Okay,
I was actually in person.
Okay, well that link is only for attorneys. So
okay.
if you want to call the family members to let them, is there any way you can let them know that they'll need to go on the court's website?
I think
we can't wait. Yeah, we can't. Go ahead.
I think they may have heard your directive due to the fact that I just received the login. I'm actually on my phone right now, so I can't text while I'm speaking with you, but I'll send an email from my computer as well. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Brown, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Your bond amount is $20,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond? I didn't hear the response.
Yes.
Okay. Can you make bond?
Yes.
Secondly, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that that's your next court date?
Yes.
Okay. And then it looks like you did complete a request for court-appointed counsel. However, since you're represented by, you've had your own attorney, I'll put your name on here, Ms. Simmons.
Yes, Your Honor. Tiffany Simmons. And do you need my bar number as well?
Yes. Remember, you also need to enter your notice of appearance.
Yes. So once we're off the
okay. Give me your bar number.
It's 112-667.
667. Okay. And let's see here. And you have a contact number?
Yes, Your Honor. It is 404-461-8422.
Okay.
And Your Honor, may I address the bond, please?
Sure.
This is my client's first interaction with the law, her first ever, allegation that's against her. She does have the support of her father, which you've seen inadvertently here. The family retained my services. We did turn her in last evening. I'm asking if the bond can be reconsidered to $10,000 possibly instead of the $20,000.
That's not something that I can agree to today, but you're more than welcome to discuss it with the DA's office prior to the or at the preliminary hearing stage.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Ms. Brown. That will conclude your first appearance hearing for this morning.
Your Honor, may
Thank you.
I'm sorry, you had another question?
I was asking, may I be excused? That.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Stand up front and the first and last name.
Barbara Florida.
Okay, spell that for me.
Last name or first name?
Last name.
F as in Frank, L-O-R-I, V as in violin, A-L.
Okay, I just want to make sure I had the correct person. Two offenses. The first offense is simple battery. Your bond amount is $3,500. The second offense is criminal trespass. Your bond amount is $2,000. Therefore, your total bond is $5,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts? Do you understand the charges?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you make bond? I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date? Do you understand that's your next court date? Okay. In addition, if you can make bond, there will be a special condition included on your bond order. You're to have no contact with the individual by the name of Carlo Timothy, who's the alleged victim in the case. Do you understand that? No violent contact? It does appear that you complete a request for court-appointed counsel. You will qualify for an attorney. So therefore, I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you.
Give his first and last name.
Destiny McHenry.
Okay, Ms. McHenry, good morning. You've been charged with two offenses. The first offense is driving on a suspended or revoked license. Your bond amount is $1,500. The second offense is driving in a motor vehicle, let's see here, on a suspended registration. The bond amount is $500. Therefore, your total bond amount is $2,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Can you make bond? You're not certain?
I mean, I can, but I'll just have to go through a bonding agent or company if I can.
Okay, no problem. Also, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on the court's calendar.
Okay. Lastly, you completed the court-appointed form, but you didn't indicate whether or not you have a job. Do you have a job?
No.
Okay. So you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you, Ms. McHenry.
First and last name.
Mark Webber.
Let me move this back a little bit.
Okay, did you say you was, are you Ms. Page? Yes. Okay. First name Raquel. Okay. You've been charged with 3 offenses. The first offense is driving on a suspended or revoked license. Your bond amount is $1,500. The second offense is distracted driving. Your bond amount is $1,000. The third offense is speeding restriction, violation of Georgia law. Your bond amount is $500. Therefore, your total bond amount is $3,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond? Okay, you're not certain, no? Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date? Okay. And then based on your application, you did complete a court-appointed application, but you answered that you do have a job, but you didn't include your monthly income. What would that be?
Right, $400.
How much?
400.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
400.
400, okay. So you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Ms. Page? Thank you. Please state your full name for me.
Tiana Marie Rose.
Okay. You've been charged with 4 offenses. The first offense is public violation of token on public transportation. That your bond amount is $500. And then you have 3 separate counts of obstructing a law enforcement officer when they attempted to arrest you. And each count is $500. So therefore, your total bond amount is $2,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount? Can you make bond?
No.
I scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And it does appear you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. Good luck, Ms. Rhodes.
All right.
Good morning, Judge. That's it for the females. We're gonna start with the males.
Okay, that's what I have. Thank you. I know deputies, I'll do the extradition hearing last.
Okay.
There's somebody trying to get in, Judge.
I'm sorry.
There's somebody trying to get in. You want me to let him in to see if he's an attorney? Or no?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
that's fine.
So hold off for a second.
Okay.
Okay.
They asked to say your first and last name.
1 minute.
Yeah, that's the usual, so make sure, put us on, make sure that was all right.
Good morning. On telephone number 839-216-9487. Can you tell us who you are, please? Ma'am, are you an attorney? Ma'am, are you an attorney? Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Sandy Smith.
Are you an attorney?
No, represent with my fiance's daughter. She has court today.
Okay, you have to watch through YouTube. You can't watch through this private link.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. We're ready to proceed forward with the first male inmate. Sir, state your full name for me.
Michael Billingsley.
Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of party to a crime. Your bond amount is $4,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
No, I didn't hear you. What's the charge?
It's party to a crime. You understand that?
Yeah.
Your bond amount is $4,000. Secondly, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then lastly, you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right, just step in here for a second. Matter of fact, let's go back, right? Yeah, go back. Go on. Step right here, say your first and last name.
Your first and last name, sir?
It's Brown.
Maurice, first name, last name is Brown, correct? Sir, you've been charged with 4 offenses. The first offense is obstruction of a law enforcement officer. The second offense is possession of marijuana. less than an ounce. And then you have 2 separate counts of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. In light of your charges, you've been charged with felonies and misdemeanors, but because you are on active probation, I'm not authorized to set bond for you today. You understand that?
Could you repeat the last 2 charges?
2 counts of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, specifically crystal meth and oxycodone appears from the warrant. Those were the 2 violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act charges are.
That's not what they said.
Okay. Secondly, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And then your bond hearing will be scheduled for February the 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that? You did complete a request for court-appointed counsel. You didn't you didn't answer the question. Do you have a job? Sir? No? Okay. So therefore, I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you, sir.
Talk to your lawyer when you get to see him. Say your first and last name.
Good morning, Judge. Christopher Burks.
Okay, Mr. Burks, you've been charged with 1 offense of driving on a divided highway. Your bond amount is $500. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount? Can you make bond?
I was actually gonna ask you, Judge, could you raise my bond up to 1,000 so I can go through a bonding company?
No, sir. I mean, it's just a simple divided highway charge. Let's do this. You can see if your attorney can negotiate something at the preliminary hearing stage. Your bond, your next preliminary hearing date is January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. So I'll leave that on the calendar. And let's see here. It looks like you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Currently only have 1 charge on me?
Yes. Yes, sir. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Next. Speak up.
Okay, state your full name for me, sir. Hey, Mr. Canty, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is possession of a weapon during a crime. Your bond amount is $10,000. The second offense is violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. The bond amount is $5,000. Therefore, your total bond is $15,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes.
Okay, can you make bond?
Should be able to.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
January 31st. What you said here?
No, January the 30th. That's your next court date. And then let's see here. You did complete an application for court-appointed counsel and you will qualify. So I will go ahead and appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Madam President, say your first and last name.
Hi, Ronald, Trey Cathy.
Okay, thank you, sir. See here. You've been charged with 2 offenses, Mr. Cathy. The first offense is reckless driving. Your bond amount is $2,000. The second offense is speeding over 35 miles per hour. Your bond amount is $1,500. Therefore, your total bond is $3,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond? I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir? Okay. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar? If you're unsure, I would recommend you leave it on the calendar.
Okay, you can leave it on the calendar.
Okay, no problem. And then it does appear that you completed a court-appointed counsel form and you indicated you're currently unemployed, correct? Okay, based on your response, you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions, sir? Okay, thank you.
And this is your first and last name? Joel Gilliam.
Okay, 1 minute while I pull your file, Mr. Gilliam. So you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. In light of the fact that your charge and the fact that you are on active probation, I'm not authorized to set bail for you today. You understand the charge as well as the no bond?
I'm not on active probation.
Apparently, you were sentenced for 12 months probation on May the 24th, 2022. So that will be in effect until May of 2023. You understand that? Secondly, I've scheduled your bond, your preliminary hearing for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. And then your bond hearing will be February the 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand those 2 different hearing dates, sir? Also, it does appear you did complete a request for court-appointed counsel. Based on your application, you do qualify. So I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
First and last name?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Your first and
Greer.
last name?
Joseph Greer.
Okay,
Joseph Greer.
thank you, sir. Mr. Gear, you have been charged with 1 count of reckless conduct. Your bond amount is $3,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
Well, I gotta call some people. I don't have the money on me now. I'm been locked up.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the court's calendar?
Keep it on there. I'll be there.
Okay,
$3,000.
yes, and then based on your court-appointed application, you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any
Thank you
questions?
so much. No, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Okay, good luck, sir.
You too.
Say your first and last name?
Robert Hall.
Mr. Hall? Mr. Hall, you've been charged with 2 offenses. The first offense is aggravated assault. Your bond amount is $20,000. The second offense is simple assault. Your bond amount is $3,000. Therefore, your total bond amount is $23,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
I had to call somebody and tell them.
Okay.
How does that? I got a question for you. How does that go? Do you have to pay the full amount, or can you?
Well, that's something you can discuss with your counsel, sir. I made comments in my opening remarks regarding making arrangements to make bond. So you can discuss that with your attorney. And I see here that you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. And then I have your preliminary hearing date scheduled for January the 30th of 2023 via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
January 30th?
Yeah.
Okay, and you said the bond is 20?
23,000. 23,000. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay,
you,
thank
ma'am.
you.
Say your first and last name.
Nicholas Hill.
Okay, Mr. Hill, you've been charged with one offense, specifically aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Because of the nature of your charge, as well as the fact that you're on active probation, I'm not authorized to set bail for you today. Do you understand the charge as well as the no bond, sir?
No.
Okay, you understand?
No.
Okay, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. And then your bond hearing will be scheduled for February the 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand those two different hearing dates, sir?
No.
Mr. Hill, do you understand those two different hearing dates?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then you refuse to complete the request for court-appointed counsel. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney?
I ain't refuse. I signed
You didn't complete when it asked for your like name, address. Do you have a job?
it. No.
Do you currently have a job?
No.
I want to move the mask a little bit. And see if
You said, do you currently have a job, sir?
No, ma'am, I do not have a job.
Okay. So based on that, you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So I will approve your application. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Say your first and last name.
William Hill.
Okay, Mr. Hughley, you've been charged with 4 offenses. The first offense is simple assault. The second offense is dangerous drugs, the selling, distribution, or possession of dangerous drugs. The third offense is possession of a firearm by a felon. And the fourth offense is theft by receiving stolen property. Because of the nature of your charges, sir, and the fact that you are also on active probation, I'm not authorized by law to set bail for you today. Do you understand that?
Probation.
According to your criminal history, you were sentenced to 3 years probation on April 29th of 2022. I'm sorry, 2020. So that would expire into April of this year, your probation. For shoplifting, it's for shoplifting.
In what county?
I don't know what county, I just have that on your bond order. Secondly, I've scheduled your preliminary here for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And your bond hearing, did I get your bond hearing is going to be February the 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that, sir? You understand those two different court dates?
Yes, ma'am. So I don't know bond, right?
And but it looks like, listen, you indicated you were employed, but you didn't include your monthly wages. Can you give me an estimate?
What? 5,000 a month.
Say 5,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, well, since it's a no bond, sir, I'm gonna go ahead and approve an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
First and last name.
First name Jonathan, last name Judkins.
Can you spell that for me, sir?
Spell my last name Judkins.
Okay, I just want to make sure I have the right person. Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Your bond amount is $2,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
I understand the bottom amount, not for sure about the charges, but I understand the bottom amount now.
Okay. Okay, well, according to the warrant that I have here, it stated that the defendant did knowingly and without authority change the locks to the shared home belonging to himself and his wife, who was the victim, Danielle Judkins. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
No, ma'am, I'll be in surgery.
Okay, well, that's your next court date. So you'll have to make arrangements. Let's see here with your, let's see, it doesn't appear you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so you'll have to make arrangement with your own private attorney. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Say first and last name.
First, Juwan Kelly, Juwan, last name Kelly, Kelly.
Okay. 1 minute, let me pull your file. Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Because of the nature of your charge, as well as the fact that you are on active probation, I'm not authorized by law to set bail for you today. Do you understand the charge as well as the no bond, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I've also scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date?
Yes, ma'am.
And then your bond hearing will be scheduled for February the 3rd, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You did complete a request for court-appointed counsel. You do qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No,
Any questions, sir? Okay, thank you.
Hello, Your Honor. My name
Hello, sir.
is Ulysses Masoko.
Okay, and spell your last name for me, sir.
Mazzocco.
Okay. So you've been charged with 1 offense of driving without a license. Your bond amount is $1,500. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
I need to find out if you.
Okay.
I need to get my friend's phone number, see if he can do something for me.
Okay.
They don't even.
Okay, I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. So if you're unsure if you're gonna make bond, I recommend you leave it on the court's calendar. You understand that, sir? Okay,
Yes,
you understand
yes,
that? Okay, and then you refuse to complete your application for court-appointed counsel. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions to see if you qualify today, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have a job?
I'm a body man technician. I work here and there, but right now I don't have something very, very steady right now.
Okay, I understand. So based on your response, sir, you will qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I will approve that. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Watch your back, bro.
Say first, last name. Cameron Mumford.
Okay, good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
How are you?
You've been charged with 3 offenses. The first offense is loitering. Your bond amount is $1,000. The second offense is use or possession of drug-related items. The bond amount is $1,500. The third offense, possession of marijuana, the bond amount, less than an ounce, the bond amount is $1,500. Therefore, your total bond is $4,000. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
I should be able to.
Okay. I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. Would you like to waive your preliminary hearing or keep it on the calendar?
You can keep it on the calendar.
Okay, no problem. And then you did complete a request for court-appointed counsel, an application, so you will qualify for one. So I will approve your application. Do you have any questions?
No.
Thank you, sir.
You're up. Stand in front of the monitors, say first and last name.
Devontae Ratcliffe.
Okay, Mr. Ratcliffe, you've been charged with 6 offenses. The first offense is driving with defective headlights. Your bond amount is $500. The second offense is no tail lights. The bond amount is $500. The third offense, falsifying proof of insurance. Your bond amount is $1,000. The fourth, speeding. The bond amount is $1,500. The fifth offense, possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond amount is $1,500. And then the sixth offense, use or possession of drug-related items. The bond amount is $1,500. Therefore, your total bond amount is $6,500. Do you understand the charges as well as your bond amounts?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond, sir?
I need to make a phone call.
Not certain? Okay. I'll schedule your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. You understand that's your next court date, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you did complete an application for a court-appointed attorney. You would qualify for one, so I will go ahead and approve that application. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
You go that way, next. Step on upstairs first. Might move the mask and speak a little louder.
Hey, sir, give me your full name.
Octavius Robinson.
Mr. Robinson, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery, family violence. Because you are currently on active probation for a battery family violence charge, I'm not authorized to set bail for you today. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to ask, like, what is I haven't committed domestic violence on no one.
Well, I know, I understand. Remember in my opening remarks, I said we're not here to try your case today. So my only purpose is to, let me finish. My only purpose is to see if I can set bond for you and then give you your preliminary hearing date. Okay, let me finish and appoint an attorney for you. So I have scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir? And then you would qualify for court-appointed counsel. So I have approved an attorney to represent you. Okay, do you have any other questions?
Yes, I haven't hit anyone.
No,
I'm not sure.
I understand, sir, but remember my opening remarks, you want to remain silent and speak to your attorney about any defenses, okay? I've approved the attorney for you. Okay, that will conclude your first appearance hearing for today. Thank you.
State your first and last name.
Good morning, Marcus Rowland.
So you've been charged with 1 offense of driving with a suspended or revoked license. Your bond amount is $1,500. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make bond?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January 31st, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. I recommend you leave it on the calendar if you cannot make bond. So that'll be your next court date. You understand that, sir? Okay. And then you did complete, you completed your name on the court-appointed counsel form, but you didn't respond when it asked you, do you have a job?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay. So you would qualify for a court-appointed attorney, so I'll approve your application, sir. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
First and last name. Shaquan, say Tuck.
Okay, 1 minute. Sir, you've been charged with 1 offense, specifically aggravated battery with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Your bond amount is $20,000. Do you understand the charge as well as your bond amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
I've scheduled your preliminary hearing for January the 30th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. via Zoom. You understand that's your next court date, sir? You understand that? That's your next court date, the January 30th. And then you did complete your application for court-appointed counsel. And based on your responses, you do qualify, so I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you, sir.
First and last name. Javon Sherry.
Okay, this is the extradition hearing. So give me 1 minute here. So there are no other inmates, correct, deputies?
No, ma'am, that's it, Judge. He's the
Okay.
last one.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Sherry, my name is Judge Tamika West Bernard. This hearing is what is called an extradition hearing. All the rights that I've advised everyone of earlier also apply in your case, but your hearing is just a little bit different from the other first appearance hearings that have taken place today. To be clear, you do not have charges pending against you here in Clayton County, Georgia. You have been brought before the court today because you have charges pending against you in the state of Alabama, and they're requesting that you return to the state of Alabama to answer the charges. Are you in fact Javon Sherry?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you already have an attorney representing you in this matter?
I'm obtaining private representation. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're gonna retain private counsel? Okay. You understand you've been charged with being a fugitive from justice. Specifically, this hearing is being conducted pursuant to OCGA Title 17, Chapter 13. As you have heard, it is alleged that you have been charged with specifically, you're wanted in this Montgomery County, the state of Alabama, for vehicle theft. So for an outstanding warrant, which is considered a felony. You have a choice as to whether you wish to contest the extradition and be returned to the state of Alabama without going through the formal extradition process. If you decide that you wish to contest the extradition, the court may commit you to the county jail for an initial period of 30 days. During that time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition to the other state. The court may consider allowing you to post bond, but the court, in this case, is not required to allow bond in your case. And since you are warranted by another jurisdiction, I'm not setting bond for you in your case at this time. Do you understand that? If you do not wish to voluntarily return to the state of Alabama, you may file what is called a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. The writ of habeas corpus can only contest 4 things by law. The first is whether the extradition documents are in order on their face. The second is whether you are charged with a crime that actually exists in the demanding state of Alabama. Third is whether you are the person named in the request for the extradition. And fourth, whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest the issue of your guilt or innocence in the state of Georgia. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in contesting extradition or in deciding whether to waive extradition. If the state is unable, that is, the state of Alabama is unable to extradite you within 30 days, then you will be released. If you can contest extradition, then you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days. If you decide to voluntarily waive extradition and return to the state of Alabama will travel here to transport you back to the state of Alabama. Do you have any questions regarding anything that I just explained regarding your rights in the extradition process?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you wish to contest the extradition or waive extradition and voluntarily return to the state of Alabama to answer the charges against you?
I'm willing to voluntarily, sign the waiver to get extradited to Alabama.
Okay. And you understand that you're doing that free and voluntarily, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And that,
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
that is the 30 days you said that Alabama has to come get me.
Yes, correct. Okay. Well, the sheriff deputy will have 5 to 7 copies of the waiver of extradition for you to sign. You will sign those waivers, and then once you sign them, they will return them to me for me to sign, and then the extradition process will proceed forward. Do you understand that, sir? Do you have any additional questions? Okay.
No, ma'am.
You're remanded to the custody of the sheriff at this time. Thank you.
That'd be all, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, so can you send me those extradition waivers? Make sure he signs them, then return them to me within maybe within the hour, 15, 20 minutes. Will that do?
Yes, ma'am.
It'll be to you in 5 minutes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you so much for your service, deputies, today. I appreciate it.